Well, the electronic transmission of results aspect of the new electoral amendment law seems to be of greatest interest to Nigerians, not because it's more important than the other aspects, but because of the genuine yearnings and aspirations of citizens to cast their votes and see that those votes result in credible outcomes. Well, to help us with a breakdown of what it entails to put this into work, we are now being joined by Abiodun Owokoya, who's a software and cloud engineer, and he's also an aspirant for a seat in the House of Representatives for the Koshofe Federal Constituency here in Lagos. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good to have you.
Well, it seems,
a pleasure.
Well, you're welcome. So it seems as though we have a hybrid, somebody who's into software and technology and somebody who also has political aspirations. Correct. When we look at this through the spectrum of this new electoral amendment, how does that make you feel? The fact that results being transmissioned electronically is supposed to highlight a stronger, more valid electoral process for somebody who's running for office. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I believe it's pretty exciting. And I think it's a great move and a great improvement in our electoral system. And I want to commend the president for doing that because as we're moving forward, this tells us that we are moving forward technologically. And I believe it's a great move. I love it. Thank you.
Well, what do you think should be the fears of people, and in terms of the areas where improvement will be needed? We had a guest earlier, Osita Chidoka, former aviation minister, who's also a PDP member, who said, well, the president has done his job, but then there were issues with the card reader at a time, and that it would have been better for INEC for this to have been signed earlier, so that INEC would have had a longer time, to test and perfect this sort of a thing. So my question to you is that, are you familiar with the card reader that now has an improvement in the BVAS now? Okay. And you know that all over the world, especially in the US, where you are very familiar with, correct, there were issues during the last election with the Dominion technology, correct, that the American system used, and President Trump and the GOPs, were basically against the Dominion thing. Correct. How much faith do you have in the BVAS system? And do you think that what everybody is saying about results can now be electronically transmitted, should we have much confidence in
Sure,
that? Absolutely.
I believe, like I said earlier on, it's a great improvement that we're moving forward. We are moving from the manual process to the electronic system right now. And also, secondly, I want to say this. I believe this should have been tested before the election time. And also, I believe the engineers that are working on it, they must have test run it before we put it out. There's something called in the engineering system that says we go from dev, which is the development process, to the testing process before we put it to the production. So in this process, I believe the engineers must have done that, and before we can test it. We still have a long time before the election, so which I believe this can be done, test the system to make sure it's working and functioning well the way we want it to look like. So I think I have some faith in it. And also, secondly, I want to believe there will be some security behind the system that the system cannot be compromised. So I heard the former Minister of Aviation talking about it and saying that it should be contracted to the third party and stuff like that. I don't want to dive too much into that.
In terms of verification, he said.
In terms of verification, like the other party can do this, should be
third party.
Yeah, the third party should be handling the system. It's not a bad idea, but what I would just want to believe is that before we can do this, because this is going for a general election that is going to determine our fate and it's going to determine the future of this country. So it's not something we're going to be joking with or something we're going to toy with. And I believe whoever that is actually handling this this system, there should be a level of security on that. So that's it. So I believe we should be good. I have faith in that.
Do you think the Osun and the Ekiti governorship elections that are coming in July, and August will be a good test run for for everything that is contained in the act, so that before we jump into 2023 elections, maybe Osun and Ekiti will have shown us that
it works.
We took the right decision.
Okay, so now let me sound like an engineer to you.
Okay.
It's not always good to run, or to test on a production system, because prior to this coming election, I expect INEC would have worked to, or should have been working on this system prior to now, so we can, by the time we run it on the first time, see what we get. It's not a bad idea to, at least we're going to start using it at some point. So if we're starting using it at the coming election at Osun, I believe it should have been tested prior to that time, and to get the result. So I don't believe
the beavers were actually used in Anambra.
They were.
It's just that there were a little
technical,
glitches.
So that we actually, okay, fine, that's a great one. So that will actually give us an idea of it will give us an idea of what the system is doing and how we can improve on it. So there's something called continuous integration, continuous delivery or deployment, which means when we test it, we find out, we need to fix one or two things in this, then we can bring it back, fix it again, test run it again. So if it's already been used in one election, so we can test it again. So when we see whatever the fault is or the problem is, we can fix it and do it all over again. So I believe it should be fine.
Be fine. I mean, even you agree that it could have been done earlier, so that you'd had even more time to iron this out before we go to a general election.
Correct.
That's fine. Let's look at your drive for the House of Representatives.
All right.
The seat that you're going for is currently the incumbent. It has served 2 terms already, and it seems that you yourself are on the platform of the APC.
All right.
Give us a bit more background on this campaign of yours, why Koshofe is significant to you, and why you want to be its representative at the House of Representatives.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very fantastic question. Actually, I was born, raised in Koshofe. I was born in Maryland, Maryland, and I grew up in Ojota. And with the look of things. So let me first touch this. In 2019, President Muhammad Buhari said the youth should not vie for any position at last election, but coming 2023, we should do that.
Did he say that?
Yes, at some point he said that the youth can be, join the government. 2023, they can contest for whatever position they want to contest for. And so I started working towards that since 2018, and so since then. And getting to power, getting to House of Representatives, I believe the youth should be in the government, and I've seen a lot going on here because I've served in other governments in other countries, United States. I've seen what is going on in there. I've been a part of their government. I'm one of the engineers that set up fraud prevention system in United States. I'm one of the engineers. I'm one of the engineers that said that built all the servers they use for unemployment insurance in the United States for all the 50 states in the United States, including U.S. territory, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and Guam. So, and also I served during the Obama administration. I served as one of the engineers that set up Obama system for their healthcare system. Obamacare, correct. So I'm one of the engineers that set up all those systems, and also I serve as an engineer that monitor the Social Security Administration, SSA, and I also serve with the Government Accountability Office. So with all this wealth of experience that I've gathered, I want to bring it back home. I want to be able to support my own people. I want to support my Nigerians, and also as a youth, I believe we have a lot of energy and a lot of experience that we can bring into the government. Our leaders, they've done a wonderful job, and I believe from where they stop, we can move forward and improve things and make as a youth, there's a saying that says the glory of the youth is in their strength. So part of this, that's the reason why I'm vying. And secondly, the current incumbent right now is running his second term, which has done a great job, and I believe if I can take over from there and make Koshofe great again. That's it. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Owokoya, make Kushofe great again.
Yes.
I mean, that's interesting. That's my own, local government area too.
Okay, cool.
But I'm wondering, I would like you to expand further on your readiness. You'll be running at the primaries if you go the whole hog with a formidable opponent at the primaries. You know, the incumbent, Honorable Rotimi Agosoye.
Correct.
Former commissioner. As you said, this is his second time there. If there is no, respect to the unwritten law within APC that after 2 terms, you give way to other people.
Correct.
If that is not binding this time around, of course, Honorable Agosoye, will want to go for a 3rd term and is enormously popular, at the grassroots there.
Correct.
What can you possibly do to convince people in Koshofe that you will do a better job and that you will be a better candidate? That's one question.
Okay.
The other part will be you said that you were part of the engineers that set up the fraud prevention mechanism in America.
Correct.
But in the last 2-3 years, as you know, we've been seeing and hearing of a lot of Nigerians being convicted in America. Many of them are even into politics here. But then they get, arrested, they get sentenced. The Hush Puppy case is there. There are a number of people who are serving currently within, the government apparatus all over Nigeria, but got arrested during the COVID-19 intervention fund. Is it that Nigerians are smarter than than the apparatus that you put in place? And how do you think that your kind of experience can work better within the engineering and technological sector in Nigeria, not just within politics that you have, signified interest to run as a House of Reps member?
Thank you. That's a very fantastic question. Let me start with the last one you just mentioned about the fraud prevention system that I'm part of in the United States, and how can I help the youth and to get them there. I can say this loud and clear that I have done I've done a great job, converting some of these guys that I know to call so-called Yahoo boys or whatever the name is. I have converted so many of them in the United States to legit as an engineer. You see, let me say this. They are just step away from their breakthrough, which they don't know. So this is what I've done. A lot of them that I know, I bring them together, I train them, and I let them go for their certification, and they're certified. I can say categorically that some of them, the ones that I've trained, they are making up to $300,000 to $400,000 a year, legitimately, without fraudulent act. And secondly,
as what? As software engineer?
As a software engineer, a software and a cloud engineer. So, and some of them they are also into other part of the engineering part, like some are database admin, some are cybersecurity engineers, and so on and so forth. So, I'll say God has used me to change these people from their ways to the current legit way they are going right now, and they're living very fine. What you mentioned about some of them, they were caught recently. I can be across all the board. But I remember the one you're talking about. They went to Texas. I live in Washington, so they are in Texas. I can get hold of those ones, but the ones that I can talk to, so I can talk to. I was able to convince them. So bringing that to Nigeria, you see, this is where the world is right now. The world, the foreign countries are investing in technology, in science, in math, in healthcare, and other part of the education. So, because I have served in this area, I've served in so many capacities within the government, I believe I have much experience to bring back home to train our people. Currently, as I'm talking to you, I've gathered some youth in Koshofe. I'm training them cloud computing currently. The process is ongoing. And some of our guys up there too that I've trained, I've built up a great team that we have worked with the U.S. government. We've solved a lot of issues with them. And because I remember one of the projects that we did for the government, so we went through a company called Ventec, I championed that the process. We we were able to deliver the project.
Nigeria?
No, in United States. And after doing all of
I
that,
thought you went in Nigeria. I'm actually getting ready to ask a follow-up question about it. Go ahead.
so I was asked to train some Indians in how to use a particular tool. So what am I saying is this? So with all this experience, I want to bring it back home. I want to train the youth. I want to get the youth off the street. I want to make sure there's no more social vices. How can we provide job opportunities for them? How can we make them a better person? You know, with all of this, you know, I just want to be like that guy, that Manny, that plays soccer. You know, he said, oh, I can't buy exotic cars, I can't buy private jets because my people are suffering. My people are, no schools, no hospitals and stuff like that. Same thing I'm doing right here. I want to come back home and liberate the youth. I want to tell the youth there's a better future for you. I want to tell the upcoming generation, the kids, that there's a better tomorrow for you, to put things in place. That is why I'm vying for this role. That is why I'm vying for this position as of representative, to represent the youth in Green Chamber in Abuja. And secondly, regarding the incumbent, fine. I know he has, like I said, he has done a wonderful job. He's been in power for like 20 years or 22 years, you know, doing well. But I believe let's flip the page. Let's flip the book to the next page. Let's see what the other guy can do. And I believe I'll be a better candidate. I believe I'll be a better person in that office, because I know I have what it takes for people to make a better change, to make laws, and to also make people's lives change. That's it. Thank you.
If the party decides on consensus,
okay,
and the incumbent is favored, will you accept that sort of arrangement?
Absolutely. Why not? Why not? If the party choosing over me, it's okay. But that won't stop what I still have in plan, what I have in my manifesto to do for my people. You understand? I just believe that when I'm in government, I will have more power. I'll have more strength to do a lot for the people. So if it's choosing over me, it's okay. But if I'm choosing, then let's go. Let's make it happen. I'm fair.
You talk about your passion in helping Nigerian youths.
Correct.
Most especially when it comes to technology, because as you know, the Nigerian technological infrastructure in this country is definitely getting a lot more attention and money and funding. So when we look at your personal endeavors to help Nigerian youths become more literate with computer and technology systems, how is that process going? Is that something you've already started? And how are you able to afford that? How are those programs funded, for example?
So basically, I'm the one funding it. So I have a foundation called Cheche Foundation. My nickname is Cheche. I'm Abi Cheche. So other part of me, I'm a professional musician. I'm a sax player.
You play the sax?
Yeah, I play the sax very well. I play for prominent musicians. I play for the band. I play for Femi Kuti. I play for Onyeka Onwenu. I play with Didi Mabiaku and all of the other guys.
Sax in their band.
Oh yeah. If they're hearing me right now.
As Abi Cheche.
As Abi Cheche, you know. Also now an independent artist. You know, I just do that for fun. So if you go to abicheche.com, you can read more about me, my biography. So now let's go back to engineering. So basically, you know, I'm funding this. I have a foundation that to help people. I've done so many programs that I give out to the widows. I've done so many programs that to walk. We did a youth walk against social vices, and saying no to cultism, saying no to banding, saying no to raping, saying no to kidnapping and other stuff like that. And also, so when it comes to this, my vision is to make sure I liberate the youth. My vision and my mission is to make sure the youth have a better future. You see, a lot of them are frustrated because of the economic situation going on in the country, which means they cannot handle it. The way I handle stress is not the same way you handle stress. I saw a video sometime, I was shedding tears. A guy just jumped to the ocean, to the lagoon. I don't know what's going on, probably he's frustrated and stuff like that. And also, because I've lived up there, I've seen how our youth are dominating other places, how they are doing. It's because they have a better opportunity. Nigeria are way smarter. we are smart and they give it to us. See, let me tell you something. When you go to work to apply for jobs in United States that I've lived in, the employer will prefer to choose you, to choose the Nigerian, because they know we work. We just want to make sure things work. And at the same time, we are also smart. Well, you just need to show us stuff, and they will keep going, and we'll start learning, improving on it. Same thing as all these so-called Yahoo boys. You know, for them to sit on the computer to defraud somebody from here, that means you are smart. Well, don't you think so?
Successful criminals are intelligent people.
Absolutely.
They are absolutely intelligent.
Matter of intelligence.
This is where I want to come in. I want to make sure, you know, those kind of people, with what you have, we can make it legit. Because I have trained them. I'm doing the course of training them. You say, oh, I know what you're saying. I've seen this before. I do this before. Yes, you have done it, but you don't just know how it works in a real world, in a real time. So this is how it works in a real time. Don't go to that route anymore. Go through this route. Prepare your resume. Put it out there. Go for interview. Get a job. And live a better life. And I think I have accomplished that. And now, like, if I can do that right there, I can replicate it right here in Nigeria.
All right. I mean, as we begin to wind up, I would like your thoughts. I mean, you did mention that at a point that you were asked to train some Indians.
Correct.
You know, which is really something very nice. So my question to you, which is part one, how do you think that we can get, Nigerian youth can get to the level of the Indians who are, you know, globally respected in terms of IT, you know, and technology?
Thank you.
What is required? And then number two, very briefly, is at what point did you jettison music for IT, you know, for technology?
Okay.
And when you told us that you've played with Onyeka Onwenu, Dibanje, etc., was that before you traveled to the US?
Yes, that was before I traveled to the US. That was when, you know, during my going to college. I don't know, one of these songs got in popular and say, "Mommy, oh," I'm the guy that played the saxophone on that. Yeah, and this song, I'm the guy that played the saxophone. So now, let's go back to that. Trading the Indians, like I said, we Nigerians were so smart. All we need to do, all I did then was that I found something related to music, which is IT. IT is not about reading when it comes to hands-on. So I practice a lot. I practice on saxophone. So I replicate that on my IT field. So I did a lot of practice. I solve a lot of problems. I debug and I make sure I fix the problem. I'm restless when it's not done. So this is how I got to know this very well. And doing that, I try to develop more interest in it. And you know, the first thing when I get the youths, when I want to train them, I first of all talk them into it. So they develop interest. They want to see what I'm talking about. And by that, they are 50% done. So my job will be so easy. And when I start teaching you, oh, this is what it is. Like, for instance, let me just do a quick talk right here. You get a phone. Your phone has a what? Phone number, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. Before, can you buy a new phone and just make a call? No. What do? You
install, you
set it up.
Yeah.
How do you set it up? You get a SIM card.
Yes.
That SIM card is connected to a particular network, right? And from there, it generates a phone number. Am I right? Same thing as computer. Once your computer is connected to a particular network, to ISP, internet service provider, it generates an IP. So phone uses phone number, computer uses IP, period. That's it. So like, oh, that's it. So that's what it is. So I want to, you know, other countries, like I said, are investing a lot in their youths. Our youths, the government needs to invest in us. That's why I'm stepping into this.
Yes.
So from that aspect, I can liberate the youth of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best in your aspirations within the local local government.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.